So by now, the NBA offseason is in full swing and a lot of things have happened. But first off, we gotta start with the NBA Summer League wrapping up the other day. And of course, my Miami Heat are world champions. Feels so good to say that. I mean, of course, we're not world champions. It's just a summer league, but it's still, it's kind of cool. And if you didn't know, I mean, I didn't know either. But apparently, if you win the summer league championship, you actually get a pretty big trophy and rings. Like, you actually get rings for winning the summer league. That's pretty cool. Maybe the NFL needs to do something similar, but they probably won't because it's the NFL. However, we're not really too concerned about that game. We are more concerned about the players that were drafted this year and how they performed in Summer League. And I think the biggest name coming out of the draft, I can't believe I'm going to say this because I don't think I've ever heard of a 55th overall pick being talked about so much, but it has to be Bronny James, LeBron James' son, who of course went to the Lakers like we all knew he would.
I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
I mean, this kid has been getting so much attention. Like, he's gotten attention his whole entire life, growing up, middle school, high school, his 1 year at college. We'll get to that, don't worry. But he's been getting a ton of attention his whole life. And the fact that he was getting so much attention going into the draft, and now he's with the Lakers, he's still being talked about. Like, it's crazy. And I don't think I've ever heard about a second round pick being talked more about than the first overall pick in Zachary Risacher, I believe his name is, to the Atlanta Hawks. Like, it's just crazy. Every time I open Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, doesn't matter. All I see is Bronny James all day. Now, it was a pretty slow start to the Summer League for Bronny, only averaging 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. However, in his final 2 games, he did score 12 points against the Hawks and 13 against the Cavaliers. So he did improve and showed some promise towards the end. However, he was not the only draftee to have a poor Summer League performance. If you look at the second overall pick, Alex Sarr of the Washington Wizards, he only averaged 5, 7, and 3 in his Summer League performances as well. Not too great either.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
But there could be some promise because if you know a guy named Jaylen Brown, he actually had a pretty bad Summer League performance himself. He went 5 for 26. I said that correctly. In his first 3 Summer League games. Started off pretty slow, pretty bad. Doesn't look like he was going to make the league, make the roster, none of that. But fast forward to today, he's actually a Finals MVP, an NBA champion, and one of the highest paid players in the league. So I would say it turned out pretty good for him. Now, when I say this, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only person thinking it, but Bronny James probably should have stayed in college at least 1 more year. His one and only done season at USC was cut short due to a medical issue, but in the games he did play, he only averaged 4 points a game for the season, which is not good at all. So I was actually really surprised when he decided to leave college early and jump to the next level. But I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that thinks this way. Let's ask legendary sports personality Stephen A. Smith himself. Stephen A., what do you think about Bronny James going from college to the NBA?
That is blasphemous!
That's a little harsh, but okay. What do you think his mindset should be going from the Summer League to the regular season?
Stay off the weed!
All right. Thank you very much, Stephen A. You are done for today. We appreciate it as always. Such loving words. But moving on from Bronny James for a second, let's talk about the Lakers as a whole. Okay, we all know that they won the bubble championship a couple years back. It was impressive. We'll give them that. It's a championship. They won it, okay? Get over it. All right, moving on. Where they sit right now is not good at all. LeBron James maybe only has 2, possibly 3 years max left, and he's probably going to be retired. And they can't compete. Let's be honest. The last couple of years, they have been knocked out of the playoffs very early on. They simply just cannot compete with the teams in the West. Besides LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they have a couple shooters, but no one that's really a threat. Not like the rest of the teams in the West have. Their depth is not that great. They lost out on the coach they wanted this year. They lost out on Paul George. They lost out on Klay Thompson. Like, they have not gotten better. I think the only person they really got this whole offseason was Bronny James. And that's really it. They haven't really picked up any free agents as of yet. So, I mean, as a team as a whole, they have not gotten better. I mean, I love LeBron James. I loved him when he was in Miami better, but I still love LeBron James. But I think at this point where he's at in his career, where the Lakers are at, he chose drafting his son over possibly winning their championship. I hate to put it that way, but by simply taking his son, and they haven't gotten any free agents or anything like that, it's, what are you doing? I'm just being honest. Like, what are the Lakers doing as a franchise? I don't think you're going to win another championship anytime soon because you haven't gotten better. And the other teams in the West have, and you just simply can't compete. It simply comes down to that. And going back to Bronny, it's unfortunate to kind of be in his situation because you're playing with one of the greatest players to ever live, which happens to be your dad, and the amount of spotlights on him, the amount of pressure is going on him, it's not right. You know, he doesn't deserve all that bad publicity, all the bad negative attention. But like, I just personally believe if he would have gone to any other team, if someone else would have drafted him, he would have gotten some attention, but it wouldn't have been as bad. The pressure wouldn't have been on him this early to be this good. But the fact that you play with your dad on the Lakers, you're going to get a lot more attention, a lot more pressure is going to be on you. And it may not be fair, but that's just how it turned out to be. But I think Bronny will eventually be a good player one day, even if some other NBA players don't think so. Jaylen Brown, he is literally just a kid. He spent a half a season in college, so it's definitely going to take some time for him to develop and mature, and it's going to take some time for him to grow. That happens to everyone. Everyone's, it takes time. And it's unfortunate he was kind of thrust into his position with this much pressure on him, and it's tough. It's got to be tough, and I'm sure it is. But I think he'll keep his head up. He'll stay positive. He'll keep working on his game, and I do believe that he will be a good player eventually. But that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please drop a big thumbs up. Also, drop a quick comment down below. What are your thoughts on Bronny James and the Lakers' current situation? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and until next time, take care.